बिगनर्स पॉइंट में आपका स्वागत है और अभी हम कर रहे हैं 12 जुलाई आज की करंट अफेयर्स। फाइजर मूव्स फॉरवर्ड विद वंस डेली वेट लॉस पिल। फाइजर प्लान्स टू मूव अ रिवर्क्ड once a day version of its weight loss pill danuglipron into clinical trial later this year, the company said on Thursday, after scrapping a twice-day version of the drug late last year. The new drug is part of the second generation of weight loss pills under development by companies including Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk that will offer patients a more convenient alternative to injections. Musk's Neuralink says tiny wires of brain chips in first patent now stable. The tiny wires of Neuralink's brain chip implant used in the first participant in a trial run by Elon Musk's company have become more or less very stable, a company executive said on Wednesday. The company had in May said that a number of tiny wires inside the brain of Noland Airbag, who is paralyzed from the shoulders down due to a 2016 diving accident, had pulled out of the position. Once you do the brain surgery, it takes some time for the tissues to come in and anchor the threads in place, and once that happens, everything has been stable, said Neuralink executive Dongjin DJ SEO. Bihar appoints its first transgender sub-inspector in a significant boost for the transgender community. Bihar has appointed a transgender person as a police sub-inspector for the first time. Manvi Madhu Kashyap, the newly appointed officer, credited her family's unwavering support for her success. My parents, brothers and sisters stood by me during the toughest time, Kashyap told ANI. DRDO awards 7 new defense projects to private sectors. The Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO has taken a significant step towards strengthening India's defense capabilities by awarding 7 new projects to private sector companies. This move, part of the Technology Development Fund scheme, aims to nurture industry in the defense and aerospace sectors, with a particular focus on supporting MSMEs and startups. Among the approved projects is an indigenous scenario and sensor simulation toolkit awarded to Oxygen to Innovation Private Limited in Noida. This toolkit will enable simulator training for pilots in realistic scenarios, aiding in full mission planning and large force engagement simulations. Sagar Defense Engineering Private Limited in Pune has been tasked with developing an underwater launched unnamed aerial vehicle. This was versatile marine battlefield accessory will serve multiple combat roles, primarily focused on intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance (ISR) and maritime domain awareness (MDA). IROV Technologies Private Limited, a startup based in Kochi, will work on long-range, remotely operated vehicle for detection and neutralization. These dual-use system will enhance underwater object detection and neutralization capabilities while keeping key assets at a safe distance. Craft Logic Labs Private Limited in Bangalore has been awarded the project to develop an ice detection sensor for aircraft. This crucial technology will help detect in flight icing conditions, improving aviation safety. Chennai-based Data Pattern India Limited will develop a radar signal processor with an active antenna array simulator. This technology will facilitate the deployment of multiple target systems for testing short-range aerial weapon systems. Accord Software and System Private Limited in Bangalore will work on an Indian regional navigation satellite system-based timing acquisition and dissemination system. This project aims to indigenous timing system using Indian satellite constellations. Lastly, Aloha Tech Alotech Private Limited in Coimbatore will develop graphene-based graphene-based smart and e-textile for multifunctional wearable applications, pushing the boundaries of advanced materials in practical clothing. Elusive mid-sized black hole spotted at center of slowed galaxy. Astronomers have scrutinized a cluster of stars that is the apparent remnant core of a relatively small galaxy that was slowed by the swirling Milky Way 8 to 10 billion years ago. What lurks at the center of this cluster has them excited. The researchers said on Wednesday the unusual motion of seven stars in the cluster provides compelling evidence for the presence of an elusive mid-sized black hole at its heart. These are bigger than the class of ordinary black holes formed in the impulsion of a single star but smaller than the behemoths residing at the nucleus of most galaxies. South Korea to deploy Star Wars laser weapons targeting North Korean drones. South Korea will deploy laser weapons to shoot down North Korean drones this year, becoming the world's first country to deploy and operate such weapons in the military. The country's armed procurement agency said on Thursday. South Korea has called its laser program the Star Wars project. Key points from NATO's Washington Summit Declaration. Leaders of NATO countries stressed a membership pledge for Ukraine and took a stronger stance on China's support for Russia in a declaration on Wednesday at a summit in Washington. Below are key parts of the summit declaration from the 32-nation transatlantic military alliance, Ukraine. The declaration said the allies intend to provide Ukraine with minimum funding of 40 billion euros in military aid within the next year, but stopped short of the multi-year financial pledge that NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg had sought. The declaration says the alliance will continue to support Ukraine on its irreversible path to full Euro-Atlantic integration, including NATO membership, as Kyiv continues the vital work of democratic, economic, and security reforms. It reaffirms that NATO will be in a position to extend an invitation to Ukraine to join the alliance when allies agree and conditions are met. The allies also decide NATO would take over most of the coordination of military equipment and training for Ukraine from an ad hoc US-led coalition. Some diplomats see this as an effort to safeguard the process from a possible return of Donald Trump to White House, but many doubt it could prevent Trump from severely curbing US aid to Kyiv if he choose to. So he chose to do so. Russia, the alliance also commended Russia's irresponsible nuclear rhetoric and coercive nuclear signaling, including its announced stationing of nuclear weapons in Belarus, adding that Minsk continues to enable Russia's war in Ukraine, but allies remain willing to maintain channels of communication with Moscow to mitigate risk and prevent escalation, the declaration said. China, the declaration also strengthened past NATO language on China, calling it a decisive enabler of Russia's war in Ukraine and saying Beijing continues to pose systematic challenge to Euro-Atlantic security. The statement called on China to cease all material and political support for Russia's war effort. It also accused Iran and North Korea of fueling Russia's war in Ukraine by providing direct military support to Moscow. The statement expressed concern about China's space capabilities, referenced the rapid expansion of its nuclear arsenal, and urged Beijing to engage in strategic risk reduction discussion. Indo-Pacific. The statement discusses the importance of the Indo-Pacific to NATO, saying developments there directly affect Euro-Atlantic security. The alliance said it was enhancing cooperation with Asia-Pacific partners, including through support to Ukraine and cyber defense. The alliance will meet on Thursday with leaders from Australia, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, and the European Union to discuss security challenges and cooperation. European Union and NATO. The statement said that cooperation between NATO and the European Union has become more significant in the context of Ukraine, adding that the alliance recognizes the value of a stronger and more capable European defense. It said the development of coherent, complementary, and interoperable defense capabilities and avoiding unnecessary duplication was key to making the Euro Atlantic area suffer. Air and missile defense, nuclear det- deterrence. The statement said the alliance will deter and defend against all air and missile threats by enhancing integrated air and missile defense. It said NATO remains committed to taking all necessary steps to ensure the credibility, effectiveness, safety, and security of the nuclear deterrence mission. PM Modi's historic visit to Austria highlights 75 years of diplomatic relations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Austria on July 9-10 marked a historic event as it was the first trip by an Indian Prime Minister to the country in 41 years. The visit also coincided with the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between India and Austria, underscoring the long-standing ties between the two nations. During his visit, PM Modi met with Austrian President Alexander Van der Bellen and held discussions with Chancellor Karl Nehammer. The leaders emphasized their shared commitment to democracy, freedom, and international peace and vowed to strengthen cooperation on bilateral, regional, and international levels to foster a more stable and prosperous world. Kathmandu prepares itself to hold 8th SATA Award 2024. Kathmandu sets itself to host the prestigious South Asian Travel Award 2024 event to be organized in 19 September this year. Stakeholders in hospitality and tourism businesses from India, Maldives, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Bhutan contest in South Asian Travel Award 2024 under various categories. In the 8th edition of SATA, winners commenting for silver and gold category for the destinations and airline segment are completely selected through online voting, while winners from the hospitality services segment are chosen through 40% online voting and 60% voting from professional jury members. Colombo Security Conclave welcomes Bangladesh as fifth member. A Colombo Security Conclave CSC, a regional security grouping, officially welcomed Bangladesh as its fifth member state on Wednesday. The announcement came during the 8th Deputy National Security Advisor DNSA level meeting hosted virtually by Mauritius. The existing members India, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and the Maldives warmly received Bangladesh into the fold, while Seychelles participated as an observer state. And current affairs is over. Thank you very much.